Attendees, there are 3 attendees who can hear us at this point. The meeting has not started, just for those people. And let's see, YouTube is live, and so I can start the recording when we are ready to.
Why don't you start now? I got 6:59, so I'll start it now.
Very good. Okay, hitting the recording. Let me make sure that's going. It says it's recording. All right, so we are live YouTube and we are recording, Justin.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
You got it.
Loretta, Bill, how are you?
Good.
All right, so.
I watched it.
Okay, it being 7 o'clock, I will call the CPC meeting to order. And Mr. Clerk, if you would do the roll call, please.
Okay, Sean, I do not see him. He's absent at the moment. Amanda?
Present.
Great. Loretta?
Here.
Bob?
Present.
Bill?
Present.
Tom, I heard, was going to be absent. And I'm here. Erica?
Present.
And Justin.
And I am here. Thank you.
Okay, so we have the 7, and that gives us quorum.
Excellent. Okay, the next thing on the agenda would be the minutes of April 6th Zoom meeting. Everybody got them? Is there a motion to accept, and if so, is presented or with editing?
I read through them. I had no changes. They looked very accurate. I would make a motion to accept them as written, as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is our annual input meeting where the public can opine how they think we should spend the money, and we kind of tell them how it's being spent. So with that, I am going to kind of explain the 3 categories for the CPC or the CPA, and that is open space conrec. That is any kind of with situation like the Fernal. 2/3 of the Fernal was bought with CPC money. The Arrigo farm over on Warren Street was bought with CPC money. We have financed 4 playground, actually 5 playgrounds with CPC money. That's all open space rec, which we have done projects such as the Payne Estate, the Lyman Estate, the Korean Church, the chimney on Moody Street. Those are historical applications that we have worked on. And last but not least, and we haven't done much with that, although lately we've had a lot of applications, and that's affordable housing. And that we've done, 80th Street is passed. We did the Leland Home vouchers. We've done vouchers for Waltham Housing, and we've got 2 others in the works, and that is the Leland Home 2 Life on Newton Street and the Armory on Sharon Street. So with that, I will tell you, we have got no money in open space because of the purchase of the UMass field station in farm, $94,176.63 available. In housing, we have $2,038,827.45. And in that's it. And then we've got undesignated, we've got 5,041,499.59. So with that, I am going to see if any of the committee wants to speak, and then we'll take questions or suggestions from the listening audience or the
Okay,
viewing audience. Go ahead.
just short thing. Yeah, hi, I'm Dan Melanchuk. I'm currently the clerk of the CPC. One of the things a CPC has to have by CPA law is a plan, as they call it, the CPC plan. We have one. It's on the website. If you go to the community preservation section of the Waltham website, it has not been looked at or updated for a number of years. There's an ad hoc committee of Erica, Julie, and myself to look at that, and also to look at our process and applications, and just kind of go over everything and come up with some suggestions back for this committee. Just thought I'd let you all know that that's happening in the works. We met once, we need to meet some more, and that will be coming up. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, Julie, I'm going to call on you to help us out, if you would.
Okay.
Would you-
For what?
Well, we'll see who wants to speak, who wants to ask questions, who has suggestions.
And there's a request, if you can repeat the amounts that are available and when the funds will be replenished.
Okay, the open space, there is no money available. Open space con rec. Historical, there's $294,176.63. In housing, there is $2,038,827.45. In undesignated, there's $5,041,499.59, coming to a grand total of $7,374,503.67. That was as of, I believe, April 30th. Any?
Okay, good. And Counselor Durkee has his hand raised.
Okay, would you let Councilor Durkee,
You have
Yep.
it, Dan? Okay.
Yeah, allow him to talk.
please?
Counselor,
Sean Durkee.
yes, Counselor Durkee.
Thank you. Hi, can you guys hear me?
We
Yes.
can.
Okay, thank God. Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you. I just wanted to make a few comments about the application process. And I don't take any public position on anything currently before the council. I might mention a project that just for application and process purposes, but not taking a public position on anything. The reason why I wanted to speak and hopefully for the public to understand is just to kind of give my perspective being on the council, being a new person. I'll try to go in order of the application process. So I can put these in writing and I can send them to Julie as well if you would like, if you prefer.
That'd be great.
That would be
Okay,
excellent.
I will
would
do
be
that.
excellent. Thank you.
So the first, it's just anything that I ask would be helpful. I don't know if it's under your purview or you're allowed to or whatever. You can give me the feedback later, but I'll just go from something I would like to see. Under section 3, under historic, I know it mentions something on the National Historic Register. There's been a couple of projects where I've been asked specific questions from the Waltham Historical Commission. I would love it if you guys could incorporate some type of statement from the local historians or the Waltham Historic Commission. I know you have a member representative on your council, but I would love to see a statement or a non-statement from the Waltham Historical Commission on any piece of property, building, et cetera, because what happens is when we get an application and it's approved, I get calls about the historic aspects of things. And I would just love to see that answered ahead of time. as opposed to having to potentially stop a project to say, hey, wait a minute, what's the historic inference for Waltham? So if that's something that can be incorporated, I would appreciate that. All right, the next part is on section 4 under project schedule, inform the ward counselor or abutters. I don't know if this might be a different conversation, but I would love to see some type of input or some type of communication when the process starts, that somehow the entire council is informed, because what happens is projects get started and there's word of mouth. So take the Leland home, for example. So we knew something was going on months ago, but then all of a sudden all this information happens at once. And I think if we had some kind of input, and again,
Let me stop you there, Sean. I'm not sure that would be out of the clerk's office, to be honest with you. Our communication goes to the city clerk. As soon as we pass something, it goes to the clerk. And if you want information on that, then we should probably combine the combination of Julie, myself, you, maybe have to speak to Joe Vazad or Bob Waddick.
Well, like I said, that might be a whole another conversation, but it would be helpful to see some of this stuff from the beginning.
Excuse me, Councilor Durkee.
Yep.
When you say from the beginning, are you meaning when the applicant
Yes.
is starting to work on the concept even before it comes to the CPC?
Whenever, well, I don't know when the counselor is informed. I just, so apparently on the application, it says inform ward counselor and abutters. I assume at that point, that would be the starting point. I don't know when, I don't know when that starts. I mean, is that when you inform the ward counselor when they submit the application?
It's actually, the ward counselor generally on the application, it says, has your ward council have been notified or contacted? And going through Julie would ask the same question and suggestion. So again, this is up to the applicant, Sean.
Yeah, that may be another thing. Just whenever to answer. I think that was Dan who asked a question.
Yeah.
Because so just to give you perspective, you hear rumors, or, hey, this might be coming down the pipeline. At that point, it would be nice to know more than, rumors. Just, hey, keep me in the same line. But I'll continue.
Go ahead.
It would be very helpful for us. It would be very helpful to see the results of some type of community input before the application comes to us. And I want to say that I'm only speaking for myself. There's 15 counselors. I don't speak for the council. I'm telling you what would be helpful for me, and I think would be helpful for the other counselors. Because if people have questions, whether you deal with them or when it comes to us, I just fear that a project might get stopped or delayed, because then we have to ask a question that maybe, there may be hundreds or thousands of people in the city who have the same question. Just be easier if it was dealt with ahead of time. So I'm open to suggestions for how to improve the whole process. I just want to make the point, if I'm asking a question, more likely than not, it's coming from a constituent. So it would be helpful, I think, and again, I'll let you guys decide what under the charter, what your purview is and what you're allowed to do. But to at least find out that the entire community had input and there was, questions were asked, what have you, before it came to us, I think would be helpful for us. So the other main thing is as far as we're now dealing with permanent affordable housing, and we're now coming under questions that have never been raised before because it hasn't been an issue. So I would just categorize these and that, you know, put them in the same category. For me, I would love to have, when we get an application, like I'll use the Leland home for example. I know there's a couple of things that were decided and a dollar amount changed. I would like to see the finalized, whatever the final decision is for the application. It would be helpful to not see like scratch outs or you know, cross offs and that stuff, because it just adds confusion, and anything that adds confusion or friction just could potentially slow down the project. And I'll give you an example. If I were to refer someone to, say someone had a question about the Leland home application, I said, check out the city website. Right now, the city website says $4.5 million. Well, that would add confusion to the average citizen, because their application's for $6 million. So again, is it a big deal? Do I know that it's $6 million? Yes. Is it clear in the application? Now they've made the decision? Yes. But to me, there's no rush. If the decision's being made on any point of the application, the number of housing units or dollar amount, let them figure it out before it comes to us, because I think it's just going to add, again, I think it adds confusion. For me, this may be a separate subject. I've seen people put in, especially for housing, different dollar amounts. And even if you guys could do this as a group informally, it would be good to know, you know, have some type of justification, or at least recommend, maybe if it's a state application, it's not required, that's fine. But it would be good to know what justification is used for the dollar amount as far as percentage of the entire project. So for example, it looks like some projects come in at about a third of their application is for CPC money. Others, it's about like 16%. It would be interesting, or to me helpful, if someone said, hey, we asked for this dollar amount because of X, we think it's justified because of Y. And maybe they could use other projects as examples. In the same way that they add comps, like, hey, what do comparable projects of this size, you know, what's the dollar cost? I think that would be helpful. That might be a bridge too far, but it would be good to know, because for me, as a first term counselor, I don't have a good gauge as to what's good governance, what's good policy, and you know, what are other people doing. Maybe we should be paying 100% of a project. Maybe we should be paying 5%. I don't know, but I just put that as a question to you. And if it comes up in questioning, or if it's something, an informal thing you can ask, that would be helpful. I'm trying to go quick.
Let him finish, Dan.
Yeah, I'm trying to be quick on purpose.
Wait a second, Sean. Dan, you can address that. Let him finish, and then you can address the other one. All right, Dan?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah. Just give me, I'll be quick. I apologize. So just for final thoughts, if you don't know, I support the CPC and I voted for it, and I know it was very close when it happened. But you know, and I voted to keep it, keep it in the city last year. But let's be honest, not everyone did, and I don't want us to take the CPC existence for granted, because there is a movement to say, hey, it's an extra tax, it's a waste, it's a slush fund. People are saying that, so I don't want us to live in a vacuum or with a shaky foundation. I just don't want us to take it for granted that it will always be in existence. I support it. You have my support. And I guess at the end of the day, anything we can do to explain to the public or reduce friction or anything before an application comes to the council is extremely, extremely helpful. And with that, I appreciate all the work that you guys do, and I hope I didn't take up too much of your time. Thank you.
I thank you. Thank you for your input. And Dan, you wanted to address something?
Yeah, a couple of quick things. Sean, the application for Leland to Life I'm looking at this moment, the issue there was that they came with two different amounts in the singular application. One was 4.5 million ask, and the other ask was 6 million based on the number of units. So I'm guessing that when the application went to you, because I'm looking at it without any cross-offs, but I'm wondering if what went to you, maybe the 4.5 part was crossed off, and maybe that's what you're complaining about. And maybe that is an issue that, you know,
we could certainly clean it up before, or have the applicant.
Yeah.
That's definitely within our purview, and we can definitely do that. And we should talk about that at the next meeting. I don't think that's much to do at all.
Yeah, that's right. I just want to bring up why there was a cross.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Understood.
And the other thing is on the what was your other comment was?
Oh, the percentage of a project, like the percentage that the CPC goes into paying for a particular project.
That is on an application. That number is pretty much always there, as far as my understanding. I'd have to go over it. But the other thing about when you were talking about the schedule, inform the ward councilor and butters, and I looked at the application, that's after it's been approved and sent to you, and I think even after the city council approved it. So it's that's actually kind of a strange thing, which I think we should talk about more as working together between CPC and city council about looking at the application. And this is really great. I'm glad you brought up this concern about the application, because that's what we want to look at is stuff. So I will be very interested in talking to you about more of this offline, so we don't have to take up a lot of meeting time, and get back to you about that stuff. So thank you very much for that input. And the last thing was also the comps and stuff. We get those as part of the application. If you're not getting those, then with the application, when it goes to the city council, we should make sure that those get sent along.
That again would be the clerk's office.
Okay.
No, we get that. We get that. My question was just as far from a policy perspective, and again, maybe this is something where I send you an email offline, but you know, some people ask for a third, like I'm estimating, but say they ask for a third of their entire project to be funded by the city. Others have 15%. You know, I don't know it would be helpful to know what's good, like what do other communities do, maybe a similar comp type thing that says, hey, this is appropriate, or this is why we do it. Because at the end of the day, I mean, and again, these housing projects are new this year, right? We haven't seen them before. They're asking for money to base essentially the cost of a building or a large building that the city won't own. We have control, and it will be in perpetuity for affordable housing, but we don't own it. We don't own the building. So I just think from a policy question, and maybe this isn't the purview of the CPC, but I think it would be helpful to say, hey, typically, you know, a CPC project, you know, you typically pay 20% of an entire project. That's reasonable. This is why, you know, it's 50% or 5% or whatever. Again, that might be a different conversation, but I just wanted to put that out there as something that would be helpful to explain. Because if I'm asking the question, other people are going to be asking it. That's all.
Thanks for clarifying. My understanding is all over the map, but I think that would be good to have. And as far as not owning the building, I think that'd be a feature so the city doesn't have to maintain it.
I was just going to say the same thing.
And the city still gets taxes on the building, so that's still happening. So that actually it seems like better if the city doesn't have to. And the perpetuity aspect of the affordable housing. That's the really important aspect.
Absolutely.
Thank you. But Sean, thank you. Like I said, please send the email again with all the stuff. So make sure we didn't miss anything, and definitely look to reaching out to you to talk about some of this stuff.
Thank you,
Okay.
guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. The question came in on disbursements, when we get our allocations, and we get it from the city in October, and we get it from the state in November, late October and mid-November on the disbursements. This year, we're expecting about 3.5 million minimum from the city and about over $1 million from the state. So I hope that answers the question. And Julie, anybody else on the committee? And if not, we'll go to a question or a suggestion from the listening.
Let's see. I was the only person who had a hand up. Do you see anything else, Julie?
No, I don't.
Let's see. There is Bill Durkee, who is actually in the panel at the moment, who I believe wanted to.
Bill, are you there?
I'll ask him.
I see he's there, but I don't see, and I see a
Muted, I
hand
don't know.
raised.
He's
What?
trying to talk.
I hesitate to unmute, so I guess we'll wait till he maybe hears us. I asked.
Okay.
Let's
Go ahead.
see. There was
Hello.
Hey, Bill, how are you?
I'm fine. I thank you very much. I'm weak and weary, so I didn't come around to have enough time to get any other questions. And I'm pleased to hear my son is doing his job as he
You did a
should.
great job, actually. And for those that don't know, Bill was the original CPC manager for years, and we thank him for his service. So thank you, Bill, and thank you for calling in. How can we help you?
Let's
How
see.
can you help us?
Unfortunately, my daughter asked me to say thank you from the Waltham Housing Authority.
Well, we appreciate, that Waltham Housing does a lot for the city, and we certainly appreciate them.
Yep, she works hard. But
She
thank you
does.
all very much for what you've been doing. And I was more curious as to how it was going to work on this Zoom. And I didn't really have any time that was available to do anything more. I went to a lot of the meetings that were held by the people that were proponents of the affordable housing and listened to other counselors, and really didn't have any difficult things that I could propose that others weren't doing, and thank them on the council for doing it, and from other places that everyone would expect the citizens of Waltham to do it. So thanks again, Dustin, and to all of you.
Thanks. Are you done, Bill? Because I got to,
I'm all done.
okay. Okay, someone asked how we get the city, we get our money from the city on a 2% CPA tax. And on the, okay, I'm just answering that now, right, Julie? Okay.
Yep.
In the state, on closings, when the registry of deeds, there's a fee added to the closing at every real estate closing, and that goes back to the CPA funds, and that's how the state match. And this year, it was I think we're 11%. And next year, they're estimating, because they increased the fee, they're estimating that we're going to get 30% next year. So we should do considerably better next year. I hope that answered that question.
There's also, on top of that, Justin, on occasion, there has been lobbying by the Community Preservation Coalition.
Yeah.
To the state house to add just some money right off the budget into the CPA
The surplus budget.
Surplus, thank you, right, surplus.
The year before was 10 million, and last year was 25 million. So Dan is correct. That's how we the 10 and 25 million are for the CPA participants, and it's divided up on proportionally. Anybody else? If that's the case, then I'll close that portion.
Wait, actually, Justin, I see down the bottom of my screen Q&A and the flag there. What is that? Does everyone else see that?
Let's see. I'm bringing that up now. Yes, I just saw that.
Is that something new, or I don't know what that is?
That is, I have Q&A had been turned on, but I hadn't. Thanks for noticing that. I have a question here from Robin Capello, if I'm saying that right. I have seen historic property listed on the city website under maps and historic property. Is that current?
That you would have to ask. Sean is not on this call. You'd have to check with historical on that, Robin.
You got that, Robin? We're all set then. Thank you. You're hearing it live. She's Robin's an attendee, so hopefully heard that.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, oh yeah, then we'll. I don't want to take Julie. Go ahead, Julie.
Can citizens help get more money for our city?
And yeah, by how real estate, you don't want your taxes to go up, so you're not looking for a tax increase. So no, really, the only way we fund it is through the 2% surcharge on your real estate taxes and the closings at the Registry of Deeds throughout the Commonwealth.
I mean, I guess the other thing is you could also lobby your state rep and senators to get more money from the surplus budget for CPA. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much there's going to be surplus this year.
Yeah, right now for sure. Yeah, this year
So
probably.
that's why I didn't even mention that.
Okay, good point.
I think you're there. With that, if any, Robin Capello thanks us. Okay, thank you for your participation. I am going to go to, let's see, presentations. Somewhere. Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, all right, fine. I'll give a quick synopsis of where we are in our projects. The ways in some of these things are very, very old, and the Wayside Trail Design, they've got $1,512.52 left to spend, and it's going to be on. They're going to review their project, and they're talking about coming back for more money once this 1,512 that would be gone in a heartbeat, I would think.
Justin, Justin, would you like me to screen share this document?
Sure, if it makes sense, it's fine with me.
I don't, somebody might want to see it. Okay, let me just do that one sec.
Yeah, go ahead.
And here we go. Is this the right one?
No, this is one Julie did.
Oh,
Julie did for us. It was no.
Let me see if I can send it to you real quick.
okay.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'll be reading it while you're trying to. Oh, here we are, right here. Right? No, that's not it. It's the other one.
Okay.
You got another one there.
Yeah. Okay.
While you're looking, Elsie Turner Field in the Gravison Playground. The Turner Field is complete, but Gravison is wrapping up. We have $225,457.82 left in that account area, which we're trying to buy the vacant lots around Hardy Pond Neighbors. And that's $183,000. That's still for the acquisition of the lots around Hardy Pond. Fernal demolition of Shriver, Zurich, Kelly, and the Green buildings. That project is on hold with a balance of $973,053.20. Wellington Farm Fields, that's the, behind the Wellington house in by the fire station up on Trapello Road. They cleared the lot, but they didn't pull the tree stumps in. They want to make a farm up there. There is $25,800 left. The Beaverbrook Apartments, which is a Waltham housing building, the roof is got $922,000, $446.90. That project has started, as has the Prospect Hill Terrace project, with $245,700 in the account. The Wellington House, the interior architecture work for the interior and the basement is ongoing, and hopefully it'll be complete soon. But there's $24,375.76 in that account. The Fernald Historical Survey is still in process, and they're doing a video. This is the one, I don't know if the members remember, but did a video of the historical that they are doing. They're videotaping the Fernald in the buildings as they were and as they are now. It's an ongoing video, and they're also researching it. That original was for $60,000. They've got $20,000 left, and this is again, they're doing this continuously. The Stonewall survey is waiting for the mayor's permission to get up to Jericho Hill where the high school is. That's ongoing. And that's got $30,075. The City Hall study, which goes back, I gotta say, between 5 and 7 years, that's $90,000. That hasn't been touched. The Sons of Italy is in the last stage or phase, and that's $70,055.22. The UMass Field Station and Farm acquisition is still not closed, so there's $14 million earmarked for that. The Historic Conservation Planner, that is ongoing in the RFP. Julie tells me is 100% complete, and that's got $49,250 left in it. The Metfern Cemetery, which goes back quite a while ago, I think 4 or 5 years anyway, that has got not touched. That's $79,750 in the account. The the Waltham Historical and Architecture Survey, which is a state and city project, that's got $20,000, and that's in conjunction with the Mass Historical, and that's going to do a survey of the South Side housing and business buildings. So that's got $20,000. The Stonehurst renovations, that's the Payne Estate. They're on hold, waiting for a purchasing agent hire, and Julie informs me that the purchasing agent has been hired. That's $754,163. The Thompson and McDonald Playground renovations is the site work and prep demo have been started in both programs of playgrounds, and that account is $2,811,096.79. The new Korean church I signed off on today. That's $130,000. That should be going out next week to end that. And the Mary T. Early Bridge has been approved by the council and awaiting start. Just to let you know, 1416 Eddy Street was okayed by the long-term debt committee last night for $420,000, and will go to the full committee of full council next Monday night for complete approval, and then the contracts will be written up and signed on that. And that is all we have. Any questions on that? Okay. And then if it doesn't look like old business, I don't have anything. Announcements. Dan, anybody else got announcements?
I do not, I believe.
Erica? No? Anybody else?
Good.
No? Bob, I haven't heard from you all night.
I'm here.
Okay, well, if that's it, then I'd look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Sure.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you all very much for your time. Thanks, everybody, for listening in and for suggesting. And Bill and Sean Durkee and Robin Capello. Thank you. Thank you, folks.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Dan, thank you very much, and Julie very much.
Oh, you got it.
Talk to you later.